Oh, you know what? You almost had me for a second. You really did. Somebody I've known in my personal life for a very long time called me up the other day and said, you know what, man? If you'd have just kept politics out of your music, I'd still support you, but I just can't anymore. For about a damn day, that shit had me thinking, you know what? Maybe I should dial it back a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't be crashing out on the internet all the fucking time. But then I saw that a lower court had ruled that the Trump administration used the emergency fund that they already fucking had to fund SNAP benefits for the month of November. And not only did this administration say, fuck you, they asked the Supreme Court for an emergency ruling to help them starve people and their children. And they fucking gave it to them. Not even I saw this shit coming. And some of y'all out here saying, just shut up and sing, man. Yeah, how about this? Fuck you. I hope every time you hear this song or you see my fat fucking face on your phone screen that it makes you fucking furious. I hope it makes you turn bright red on the inside. I hope it makes you hate me to my fucking core. I hope it makes you hate me so much that the next time you look in the mirror, you don't recognize who you see anymore and you wonder how the hell you got here. And then I hope it makes you even more mad. So mad that you get sick to your fucking stomach and your eyes turn bloodshot and you stop to think, wait a second, this ain't me. This is not who I am. I hope you think I'm a human being. And then I hope you start to let go of that hatred and you start to think I'm supposed to have love and compassion and empathy, not just for me, but the people around me. And then I hope you start to think, man, there's got to be a better way. And that better way probably doesn't involve a billionaire who is actively going out of his way to starve the people and their children that he swore an oath to serve and protect. So yeah, I got political in my country damn music. And you know what? So should fucking you.
The Supreme Court just blocked full SNAP payments. They've referred the decision back down to the First Circuit. So right now, the Supreme Court is actively aiding the Trump administration in starving Americans. First, you had a USDA who was targeting grocery stores for giving SNAP recipients discounts because SNAP recipients haven't gotten SNAP payments for food. So you mean tell me the USDA, the U.S. Supreme Court, and the Trump administration can do more in the federal government to pursue grocery stores and use starving Americans and people on the fucking Epstein list? Wow.
I was so angry recording this video. This is probably my 5th or 6th take because the others literally sounded like I was just yelling because I'm viscerally angry. And not because this affects me, but because it affects so many good people. That orange, incompetent, predatory felon in the Oval Office filed an emergency appeal to block SNAP benefits, to stop food from reaching families who need it. Let that sink in. He went to court to fight against feeding Americans. We're talking about people who are already struggling. Parents who have to decide whether to pay rent or buy groceries. Seniors trying to stretch a box of cereal throughout the week. Veterans who served this country, waiting for benefits that were supposed to hit today. And this idiot's response, appeal it, delay it, deny it. Congress gave them $5 billion in emergency funds for this exact situation. A judge said, use it. And instead of saying yes, he goes, no. He didn't say, let's fix this. He said, let's fight it. How do you even justify that? What kind of leader is that? What kind of leader does that? You can tell a lot by a person by what they choose to fight for. And right now, this wannabe president is fighting to keep people hungry. He's fighting to keep the poorest Americans on their knees while pretending he's saving the country. That is not strength. That is cruelty with a tie on. This isn't politics anymore. This is a moral collapse. A president who weaponizes hunger, who looks at empty fridges and says, not my problem, doesn't deserve the title. Because leadership means feeding your people, not starving them for leverage. So yes, I'm angry. I'm angry for the single mom at the grocery store whose card got declined because the president filed an appeal instead of signing a check. I'm angry for the millions of Americans being used as pawns in a power game they didn't ask to play. This isn't leadership. This is cruelty in broad daylight. And if this doesn't make you furious too, I wonder if you're human.
It still baffles me how something as basic as food is treated like a luxury in the US. Millions of Americans are about to struggle even more because of a decision made by people who will never understand what real survival feels like And what breaks my heart is knowing this is not a small issue, but it's going to affect more than 40 million people. That's why this video hit me so hard. I watched it few times and I couldn't just help myself to think how crazy and how hard it is to make it make sense that the world's wealthiest country is starving its own people. Anyway, let's watch the video together and I will come back with the rest of my commentary. But before we do that, kindly hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Y'all want some fucked up news? Baby, the fucking Supreme Court caved, and Ketanji Brown Jackson was a part of the fucking situation. So, you will not be receiving your full SNAP benefits this month. They're sending it back down to the First Circuit courts to rehash the situation. Honestly, I thought the Supreme Court would have stopped this shit. They would have stopped him in his tracks and said, no, while y'all figuring out shit, we're gonna go ahead and give the people what they need to survive for the month. But that didn't happen. So now, y'all gonna get half of your benefits, and that is it. We're gonna have to wait and see what the lower courts say, how they revise their ruling. I don't know how that shit works, but I do know people are gonna go hungry. So now it's community. It is your community that you're gonna have to depend on. And I'm gonna say this, I've seen the fucking church calls. I don't know why y'all thought these churches was gonna help. Majority of the white churches said you had to be a part of their congregation in order for them to lend you a hand. The fuck? It was black people in mosques showing up. You turned away a mother that was asking for formula for her child. Baby, a mama asked me that shit, I'm coming out. How many much you need? The church used to be about opening their doors to anyone and everyone that needed help. You didn't have to be a part of the congregation. The church used to go out to the fucking streets. They used to be in the neighborhoods knocking on doors. These churches nowadays is receive and then we'll think about giving. And in this time that we're in right now, we can't do that shit. The new churches are the people putting pantries out in their front yard, in their garage, online doing donations. If I was not in transition right now, trying to get my fucking life together, and I wasn't on the road so much, baby, I'd be doing that in my area right now. But if you see somebody that you trust online and they're doing donations to help people this month, to put food on their tables, help where you can. And if you can't, just spread the word. You know shit has gotten crazy when Africans are joking, telling their children to eat all their food because children in America are starving.
Okay, there are so many verses in the New Testament that are warning us away from wicked men. In fact, one of Jesus' last instructions to his disciples was him saying, take heed that no one deceives you. So we are actually being disobedient if we let ourselves be deceived by a wicked con man. So what would constitute a wicked con man? In Psalm 10, we see wickedness laid out for us. The psalm is all about a wicked man. It is somebody who speaks boastfully and arrogantly. It is somebody who devises a scheme and then traps people into a trap for his own elevation. So I want you to hear this. In Psalm 10, verse 7, it says, his mouth is full of curses and deceptive, harmful words. His tongue injures and destroys. So if we are allowing ourselves to come into alignment with a person like this, and we are putting this all under the guise of Christianity, and we're just going along with this facade so that we can get what we want politically, we are disobeying Jesus. Jesus has firmly instructed us against this type of alliance, and he has said, do not allow yourselves to be taken in by a wicked man.
You know, one thing that hit me the hardest is the irony, because I grew up thinking that problems like this, hunger, unstable government programs, people fighting just to access basic needs, were things that happened in the third world countries, places where poverty is normal and they're already used to struggling for everything. But seeing it happen in this so-called world's best country, the wealthiest nation on earth, that's what breaks my heart, because it makes you realize that wealth does not automatically mean compassion. wealth does not automatically mean strong leadership. Sometimes people still have to beg and fight just to get the smallest thing like food. And the part that really disturbs me is that food is not some kind of luxury. Food is not a political reward. Food is not something you use to make a point or prove power. It's one of the basic needs of any human being. If you deny someone food, if you make it hard for them to eat, you strip away something fundamental. You strip away dignity and humanity. When I think about the elderly who depend on these benefits, when I think about the kids who don't understand politics but feel the anger anyway, and also the low-income families already stretched to their limit, it just makes me emotional because they are not lazy people. They are not people trying to cheat, but just trying to survive. And what hurts the most is that while regular people are suffering, the ones in power are busy fighting court orders, political moves, shutdowns. Meanwhile, real humans are trapped in the middle. Innocent people who didn't ask for any of this. And honestly, it makes you question the priorities of people in charge. It makes you wonder if the ones you trusted with your votes ever had the people's best interests at heart to begin with. Because tell me why something as simple as making sure Americans can eat has turned into a whole battle. Why would any leader fight against something that protects the most vulnerable? And I honestly still find it baffling, especially seeing the Supreme Court side with decisions that seem to benefit the powerful while hurting ordinary people. I don't understand how we reached a point where the system feels so upside down, where it feels like the innocent are the ones being punished, while those with money and influence always seem to come out on top. I understand that my words won't fix this. I know me talking won't suddenly fill anyone's fridge, but I pray deeply for every person caught in this mess. I pray for strength, for hope, for protection, because I don't think this is the end. I feel like more challenges are coming, and I just hope people prepare themselves emotionally and mentally for whatever comes next. But even with all the darkness around this situation, I still believe there is light at the end of the tunnel. Hard times don't last forever. And even when system fails, humans still survive, still push through, still rise. I hope and pray that this turns around soon because people cannot carry this burden alone. And I just want to end this video by saying that you shouldn't lose hope. Believe that this is not the end of the story. May God protect every single person affected, and may the future hold something better than this moment. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye.